Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to actually work on the spider a little bit. I have this Force 4 shift box. I want to see if I'm using the same one that's in here, because this shift light is working, so that's a gear indicator. It tells me what gear I'm in. I'm not actually using the box's shift. I said this a million times, but I'm using the Evo 10 paddle shifters that you can see on the steering column there. But this light that's in this dash, it's getting power because it does light up, but it's not showing the gear, and it used to. So I'm gonna maybe swap the boxes and see if it's the box issue, or I'm most likely gonna end up taking the cluster out and seeing if there's like a connection in there that's kinked up, ripped, cut, sliced, whatever, just to see if the connection's okay. But like I said, it's getting power because when I turn the key on, it is showing some lights, but it's not telling me what gear I'm in. So I plugged this one in instead into the box that's behind this kick panel, and it seems to work. So I'm going to take that kick panel off and make sure these boxes are the same. And if they are the same, I'm just going to maybe swap the boxes and see if that changes anything for the dash piece. But I think I might just be better off taking the cluster out and seeing if there's anything going on behind the gauge cluster. But yeah, just a little something. I don't know if I'll get to it in this exact video, but I'm going to change the oil filter and plugs. That's part of the plan here as we get ready for fall to approach. Boost weather. Let's go. All right, so it's a Smart 100.1 box, and hard to see, but that's exactly what this box is. Smart 100.1. This is the piece that goes to the dash to show the gear display. And this one right here, the black one, goes to this gear display. So I'm just gonna make sure that this still works with the key on, which I know it does, and make sure that thing lights up with the key on. And then I'm gonna swap the boxes and see if it does anything before I take the dash apart. I say dash, but cluster. It's not that involved. No, that didn't light up or anything. That's because it's not plugged in. That one's plugged in. I should always say 2. And then when I watch, I'll hit this paddle and it should go down to 1. So that's what that should do when I switch these plugs real quick. All right, took this plug out, put the gear display and the dash in. Let's see what it does. Alright, I don't know if you could tell, but it did light up, but it didn't do anything. So I think I need to just take this cluster out, but I am going to switch boxes before I do that. So I just switched to the box that I had laying around, and now it's showing me what gear I'm in. So that's pretty well. I'm gonna have to take her for a test drive and see how she does. Alright, so I'm gonna attempt to push this heavy beast out of the garage. I've done it before. Hopefully I can again. It's a little tight fit. I'm gonna move that cooler back there. But push it out of the garage, in case you're wondering, it's because my kid is napping in the house that way, and it might be a little loud if I start this in the garage, so I'll start it outside. But I'm gonna push her. Weird. It's like shifting on its own here and there, but not all the time. Right now we're in second gear. Like, yeah, the gear display works, but I also want to be shifting full time on it. Alright, so I'll bring it back down to 1. We'll make a right. Got no power steering, so we gotta wait till it's pretty clear. car off, completely switched boxes. This gear display is still plugged in and it's showing nothing. And it still feels like it's going to shift. I'm going to drive around the block and just see if it shifts on with me shifting it. Obviously, I won't be able to tell what gear I'm in. I'll know because it's not that hard to think about. But if maybe it's something in the settings in the box, I'm going to have to kind of do a little bit more research, talk to a couple people. Worst comes to worst, I'll leave it the way it was with this being my gear display. But I think that is a much cleaner and nicer look than having this little Sega Genesis module looking thing here. Well, let's try it. Alright, so we should be in first gear. First gear and second gear is sometimes hard to tell, but this might actually be second gear. Shift it nice. So I plugged this gear display back in the Sega Genesis one and it works. So I wonder if there's a setting that I can plug into the computer that maybe lets you choose what gear display you're using. I don't know, but I got to do some homework here. But at least this is working. The car's drivable. The temps got up to 205, 206, and then the fans kicked on and it's going down. It's like an 89-degree day, so everything's acting the way it should. I shouldn't say acting up. Wideband's good. Minus 17 vacuum. Trans temp is getting warm, 143, which is good. Oil pressure just idling is at 40. But we're gonna drive her home and get on Google. No rush, no races coming. Just trying to see what was the deal. I was gonna sell a box, but I want to make sure both boxes work good. But again, I know nothing about the tuning aspects of these boxes.